and welcome to Radio Works World. This is Gill Barham, the Miracle Molecule host, and this show is called Lighthearted Conversations. And today, my very special guest is the Stardust Queen herself, the lovely Marina Nani. Hello.
Wow, Gill, I just feel with you, I feel at home, and I feel that our home is Stardust.
Yes, you're quite right. Now, just tell everybody that in case they don't know who you are, exactly what you do, just very quickly.
Well, I am me, and I will never change. And I realize that people don't need to change. They're awesome. They only need to change the way they look at themselves and see themselves for who they truly are. And this is who I am.
And you've created a business, the Radio Works World, around helping people shine, haven't you?
Yes, actually, I had no idea it was a business, but eventually becomes so much that I had to hire people, I had to hire venues, I had to run it as a business. Even I had no idea it could be a business. My passion could be a business.
Okay, well, today we're here to look at the lady behind the business. So we've just got some questions and it's all about getting to know you. Okay, so they might be a bit random. Just to say that Marina hasn't heard these questions before and we're getting her to just react very naturally to the questions that I'm going to ask. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, Marina, imagine that you're in a very posh hotel and you're going to go up to the penthouse floor to your suite. But on the way, one person gets into the lift, but the lift gets stuck between two floors. Now, I'd like you to tell me who that person would be who you would like to be stuck in a lift with for 2 hours. Who, from alive or dead, who would you like to spend that 2 hours with?
Well, actually, I got stuck in a lift and it wasn't a pleasant experience.
Oh, just to tell you that the lift has got windows, so you're not going to get claustrophobia. That's the clue. Okay.
So I think I would love to think it's the Queen.
Why not?
It's my greatest inspiration, and she's always been there in my mind. When I had nobody else, I always ask her questions, and at some point she told me, ask me better questions, and this is how I learned to ask myself better questions.
Well, that just sets the bar really high, Marina Nani, doesn't it? as my first guest, who better to choose than the Queen? Okay, so in this lift with the Queen, we've got a lovely table laid out with a beautiful tablecloth and the best china, of course, and glassware. And if you imagine, I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, we're going to magic you a meal straight away onto this table. So what would this meal be? What would you love to eat with the Queen?
Mango.
Mango?
Yes.
Just mango?
Avocado. And then grapes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. So a fruity feast, basically. I'm sure the Queen would love that because, of course, she loves really fresh food too, doesn't she? Okay, all right. So now, this is a little bit of a question taking you back to the 18-year-old you. So are you willing to share with us where the 18-year-old was living? What was the 18-year-old Marina doing?
Yes. So it is the year when before I got married. I got married when I was about 20. Because if you didn't get married by the age of 19, you'd be an old woman.
In your country, and just tell us where you come from.
Yes, I was born in Romania. And
okay, so you were still in Romania at this point.
Yes, so the custom was to get a degree and get married, have children, and yes. So I was at the time living with my grandmother, which I loved dearly. She was dressmaker, but she was making beautiful dresses for the National Theatre and celebrities. and she was called Golden Hands.
Oh.
So I had a room in her house which got a separate entrance, and I was allowed to write on the walls, and everybody visiting me, and a lot of people coming to my place because it was very unusual to have your own place at that age, unless you get married, of course. And I will ask everyone to write on the wall, straight on the wall, the first thought that comes into their mind. This is where I was when I was 18 years old.
So you were already a visionary at 18.
I don't know. This is what put me into trouble many times because I always wanted to know what people think, and they not necessarily want to share because they think nobody cares. But actually, I really, really deeply care for what people think deeply inside when they talk to themselves, when they're not saying something because they're expected to, but that voice, that inner voice, when nobody is listening. So yes, this is where I was.
Gosh, it's very insightful for 18. So now take us to the 35-year-old Marina. What was life like then, and where were you then?
Wow, it was hell on earth. Because by then my husband passed away. I was a young widow with 3 children, and everybody wanted me to remarry. And I refused to just marry somebody I don't know. I think you can't trade your time for the sake of convenience. I don't believe in anything but love. So I was loving my children very much. I still do. So for me, they were everything, and could not find room or space for somebody else. So it was a very difficult time.
And where were you? Were you in the UK by then?
I was traveling at the time because I had. At the time, I launched my own newspaper, an ecological newspaper. So I was getting contracts to go around the world and write about different projects. So it was a very difficult time for me, but I loved what I was doing. So that made it easier. And it was more than work. I felt like I'm on a mission to help others understand that the planet we are on is nothing but a gift, and the time we have in this lifetime is not ours. It belongs to our children. We just borrow it from our children. So it is important to love the nature we are part of, and make sure it's still there when we are gone.
And you call us your genius farmers, so you're still really in the same using the same theme, aren't you, of
Yes.
passing on to our legacy and making sure that the world is a happier and safer and ecologically safer place still,
Yes.
because of all the people that you now help. How interesting. Okay, so I have a few quick questions. So these are one answer questions. Okay, so these are the questions from your heart. So TV or radio?
Look at me. I have a radio face. Definitely. Radio. Definitely radio.
Fiction or non-fiction?
I love both.
Okay, that's allowed. Best habit?
I don't think I have any habits.
We all have habits. You take the dog for a walk, for example, twice a day.
But is that a habit? Okay, yes. So walking is one of mine.
Yeah. Worst habit then?
The worst habit is reading, because I can't stop reading.
You get consumed by it.
Yes.
Okay. And if I was to drag you up on stage with me, because you know I sing, what would be your karaoke song? What would you choose to sing very badly, probably, into a microphone, or maybe very well into a microphone?
I'm not quite sure because I'm very much into different kind of music. I love all music because when the music hits you, doesn't hurt. So it's music is beautiful. But
So what were you listening to at the 18-year-old you? What music were you listening to then?
Same like now, which is very disappointing. It was Bach, it was Mozart, it was always classic music.
Yes, I'm an absolute Mozart freak, by the way. And do you have any nicknames, pet names or nicknames?
I don't know what people call me behind my back. I'm going to ask. I know my granddaughter calls me Mamia. So
Mamia. There we go. I knew
that's the first.
I knew we'd get that one out. I wanted to talk to you about your grand. I hoped you would mention your granddaughter, who I've seen pictures of, and she's lovely. Okay, so just on the theme of music then. So we're talking about lighthearted, feeling lighthearted. So if you needed a little lift, if you needed your heart to feel light, would it be a Bach or a Mozart track? What would it be that you'd play?
Yes, it will be concert number 2 for violin and orchestra.
Brilliant. And now this is an interesting one. So imagine that you're going off on holiday. I'm going to send you away for a month. I don't mind where you go, but whatever it is, I'm going to pay. It's all expenses paid. It's all organized. You have no stress in terms of hotels and aeroplanes. So it's a stress-free holiday. Who is the person that you would take with you? Who's the person that you could spend a month with without a crossword?
I think it will be my son, Daria, my other son.
Yes. Brilliant. And then just lastly then, what's coming up for you that you're really excited about?
Wow, there's so many things each day, and I wake up in the morning thinking, what now? Something very exciting is happening on the 7th of July, and I hope you'll be part of it. And I can't imagine that scene without you. And we are going to have perhaps a lot to share afterwards. But between now and then, we have on the 31st of May, we have another Make the News. On the 1st of June, we have Make the News again with Sabrina, Dream Big. And we have a couple of gala evenings that are very, very exciting. They're supposed to be once a month, but now they're twice a month.
Wow.
In October, you remember first Radio World Awards was October 2nd, 2016. 2017 is going to be 2 days. We are going to have at least 1,500 people coming from perhaps at least 60 countries. And I think it's going to change a lot of lives. And we are going to, for the very first time, we are going to offer the Stardust Awards 2017.
Oh. Fabulous. And lastly, where can we find out more about you? Where should we look? How do we connect with you?
So if you go to radioworks.world, so it's radioworks.world, you'll find most of the shows, half of the shows we are broadcasting there. And then we have the magazine coming out, the Quantum of Light for authors and authors to be. We have the Sovereign coming out in August, which is a global magazine for heart-centered entrepreneurs. And God knows what's next. I'm ready. Whatever it is, I'm ready.
And we can get access to all of the tickets and all of the events that you're doing through the same place, can we?
That's correct.
Well, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed our little light-hearted conversation.
Very much so. Thank you so much for taking me places. Thank you.
It's very nice of you to share just a little bit of the behind the scenes, Marina and Arnie, with us. So
this is behind the scenes.
It is behind the scenes, yeah, it is. So we're going to say goodbye from love from me and from Marina as well. And we'll speak to you really soon.
Share your stardust. Thank you.
Yes.